Hello students, this is Rahmat Khan from Shiv Jyoti Educational Group. Hope you all are doing well with your studies. I hope you remember that you are in board classes. So dear students, don't forget to revise your subjects regularly. If you have any doubts, dear students, you can come up with your doubts in the doubt sessions. We'll be very happy to help you. So today we are going to discuss a very important chapter of history, chapter 1, nationalism in Europe. Dear students, this chapter is very lengthy, so we are going to divide this chapter in two parts. So today in this video lecture we are going to cover part 1 of this chapter. So let us start. Dear students, if you open your textbook and if you see the chapter first page, you will see an image of Frederick Sorio. This image is very important. Why? Because if you see, Frederick Sorio was a French artist. He was a French artist who in 1848 prepared a series of 4 prints visualizing his dream of a world made up of democratic and social republics. What do you mean by this? Frederick Sorio, a French artist, had a dream. This image was imaginary. Imaginary, that means he was thinking that in coming years the world will be like this. What kind of world he was dreaming? Let us see what was there in this image. Let us see the features of this image. So the features of Frederick Sorio's painting were the people of the Europe and America marching in long line are paying homage to the Statue of Liberty. If you see in this image, the people are in a queue and they are marching towards the Statue of Liberty, giving homage, giving tribute to Statue of Liberty. Fine. So this shows that they wanted and appreciated the principle of liberty, equality and fraternity. This means all people, the countries were ready to throw back the monarchy and start the democracy. They were happy for the democratic country. On the foreground of the image lie shattered symbols of monarchical regimes, signifying the downfall of the monarchical and absolutist regime. If you see down here, shattered broken things, टूटी हुई चीजें, टूटी हुई मूर्तियां, किसकी? Monarchical regime. Monarchy means king's rule. So यहां पर जो भी राजा महाराजा थे वो सारे बिखरे पड़े हुए हैं. What do you mean by this? This means they did not accept monarchy now. They wanted to move forward with democracy. And when we talk about absolutists wherein the whole power is in the hand of monarchy, so did not want that to continue. Okay, in this image people are grouped as distinct nations identified by their flags and national costumes. This depicts the rise of nation state in the European and America. If you see the picture carefully, you can see every person is carrying individual flag, unique flag. This shows that they are representing nation, they are representing one country. Students, remember, at this time there was no nation. इस वक्त पे कोई nation state नहीं था. This is just an imaginary picture drawn or painted by Frederick Sorio. Fine. So this is very important for you in both point of view. So let's continue with the chapter. First, we need to understand the meaning of nationalism. Dear students, we have already come across this word, this term called nationalism. If you remember chapter 3 of history, nationalism in India. But I'll repeat, that is, nationalism is a feeling of oneness where all the people, they feel that they are one, they belong to one country. What is the thing that makes them feel one? That might be culture, that might be tradition, that might be the language. Fine. So during 19th and 20th century, nationalism was a powerful force that could create one nation from many separate countries. That means nationalism could create nation, could bring all the people together to form nation. For example, Italy and Germany, which we are going to discuss further in this chapter, break one nation up into many countries. It can also break one country into many. Okay, for example, Austria-Hungary and Turkey. This also we are going to discuss further in this chapter. So before we start this chapter, before we move on, we should know about Europe. Beta, Europe is not a country. Europe is a continent. And as we know, some 100-200 years back, there were no countries, there were no nations, there were only monarchs. मतलब अगर हम आज से 100 साल पहले जाएं तो पहले कोई देश नहीं थे, like India, America, Germany. There were only the rule of kings, जिसको हम बोलते हैं monarchies rule. Fine. So in Europe there was a big problem, and the problem was every society was different, their languages were different, and there was no similarities. और जब तक similarity नहीं होगी, there won't be a nation. अगर similarity नहीं होगी तो देश बनेगा ही नहीं, because this is the base of any country. Fine. So in Europe, अगर हम यूरोप की बात करें, we can see in Europe at that time there were two classes, one the upper class and the one lower class. In upper class, the landed aristocracy. When I say aristocracy, the rich people, the elite. When I say elite, ultra rich, हद से ज्यादा पैसे वाले. Fine. So the landed aristocracy were the dominant group. They were dominant. मतलब वो हावी थे सब पे. They had common interest and lifestyle, owned large country estates and town houses. This means this all people, the people from aristocracy, they were having same interest and they were living together, and they did not accept any other person to interfere into them. Fine. Most of them spoke French. These aristocrats spoke French, so their language was French. On the other side, if we talk about lower classes, in lower classes majority of the people were peasants. तो lower class के अंदर अगर हम देखें तो ज्यादा से ज्यादा कौन लोग थे? Peasants, farmers. Most were landless and worked as serfs. बहुत ज्यादा उनके पास लैंड ही नहीं थी, and they were working for this aristocracy. ये इनके लिए काम किया करते थे. Fine. French Revolution and the idea of the nation. Dear students, I hope you remember the first chapter of your class 9th, the French Revolution. In French Revolution, we have seen how people throwed the monarchy and brought the people's rule. And when we talk about people's rule, it is democracy. Fine. So, French Revolution had a great impact in nationalism in Europe. Let us see how. French Revolution started in 1789. France was a full-fledged territorial state in 1789 under rule of a monarch. Political and constitutional changes that came in wake of the French Revolution led to the transfer of sovereignty from monarchy to the body of French citizens. When the French Revolution took place, they threw the monarch. उन्होंने monarch को, राजा को हराया और वहां पे लोगों का रूल आया, and the power came in the hand of people. Fine. Various practices adopted to develop a sense of collective identity among the people. Now once they threw back the monarchy, एक बार उन्होंने जब monarch को हरा दिया तो उन्होंने सबको एक करने के लिए, to make all come together, they adopted various things. Declaration of mission to liberate Europe from despotism, and they accepted and they declared that French ही नहीं, apart from French, the whole Europe, the countries which are there, with the territories are there, we must free them from despotic rule. When I say despotic rule, that is the rule by the monarchs, by the kings. तो अब फ्रेंच चाहते थे कि जितने भी यूरोप के अंदर आप राजा महाराजा उनके ऊपर रूल कर रहे हैं, उनका रूल खत्म किया जाए. Setting up Jacobin clubs by educated middle classes and students of Europe also powered revolution in all Europe. They started setting up Jacobin clubs. Now what were the Jacobin clubs? Educated people, they come together and they formed a group to spread the message to the people in Europe, to identify them, to unite them from the despotic rule, from the rule of monarch. Fine. The idea of the nationalism, now French became a democracy. They throned the monarch and now they wanted to create such a nation wherein all should be identified as one. Now to do this, they need to take some measures, some steps. And what were they? Idea of la patrie, this is the French word, that means the fatherland, जिसको हम आज बोलते हैं मातृभूमि. Le citoyen, the citizen, this is again a French word which means the citizen, were emphasized. So they focused on the fatherland and the citizens. That is, you are from this place and you belong to this place and you are the citizen of this nation. Adoption of new constitution with citizens enjoying equal rights. Beta, when there was a monarchy, monarchy enjoyed different rights and the people had different rights. But here, after throwing the monarch, they accepted to use constitution, a set of rules and regulation, wherein everybody will be treated equally. New hymns were composed, oaths were taken, and martyrs remembered in the name of nation. Hymns were composed and the martyrs, जिन्होंने देश के लिए जान दी, उनके लिए श्रद्धांजलि दी गई. Uniform system of weights and measures were adopted. When we talk about uniform system of weights and measures, weights, beta, at that time there were no uniform measures. मतलब जहां पर आप तोलते थे, अलग अलग जगह पर जो आप कैलकुलेट करते थे, यू वर कैलकुलेटिंग, इट वॉज डिफरेंट. फाइन. फॉर एग्जाम्पल, अगर आप एक शॉप पे जाएंगे एंड इफ यू आस्क फॉर 1 किलो राइस, सो इन इंडिया इफ यू गो एनीवेयर आपका 1 किलो सेम रहेगा बेटा. बट एट दैट टाइम, फॉर एग्जाम्पल, उस वक्त में अगर आप फ्रेंच में एक जगह जाते और 1 किलो चावल मांगते तो एक जगह आपको बहुत ज्यादा मिल जाता और दूसरी जगह बहुत कम. So there were no uniform measures. वहां पर uniform measures नहीं थे and the currencies were also different. Fine. Centralized administrative system was formalized. When I say centralized, that means the rules and regulation will be for everybody. जो भी rules और regulation होंगे वो सबके लिए same होंगे. Centralized for everybody equally. Fine. French became the national language and regional dialects were discouraged. मतलब you had a common language, that is French language, that identified people that they belong to that country. Fine. और regional जो languages थी उसको ignore करने के लिए कहा गया and they were said to follow one language so that they could feel, they could provide them the feeling of nationalism. Fine. Imaginary female allegories. When I say female allegories, remember भारत माता. Okay? मूर्तियां जो एक्चुअली एग्जिस्ट नहीं करती थी पर बनाई गई ताकि लोगों के अंदर एक फीलिंग लाई गई, फीलिंग ऑफ वननेस, एकता का प्रतीक. Imaginary female allegories were used to show united nation such as Marenia and Germania. We'll discuss this later in this chapter. Napoleon. Beta, French turned into democracy, but it was short-lived. क्या कह रहा हूं मैं आपसे? फ्रेंच डेमोक्रेसी तो बन गया था, पर वो ज्यादा दिनों के लिए नहीं था. Why? Because there came a person called Napoleon Bonaparte, and he destroyed the democracy of French once again. मतलब नेपोलियन इस शख्स ने डेमोक्रेसी को वापस से तोड़ दिया and he turned that again into dictatorship, or you can say a monarch rule, because this person Napoleon did not accept anybody to not follow his decisions. He wanted whatever he said should be accepted. This was his thinking. But there is a dilemma, there is an argument that he was good also and he was also bad. Some people considered him as a positive personality, a good personality, and some people did not accept him. Why? Let us see. Fine. So the rise of Napoleon marked the rise of monarchy in France. We know this. However, Napoleon implemented some revolutionary ideas and principle in France. He did this by taking the following steps. That is, Napoleon introduced various things which were revolutionary, which were not there before. That's why he was appreciated, he was accepted. What were they? Let's see. He introduced the Civil Code of 1804, that is also called Napoleonic Code, also known as Napoleonic Code. This code initiated the principle of equality of all people before the law, right to property, and established all privileges enjoyed by the people of high birth class were abolished. That is, Napoleon introduced various laws wherein he abolished the rights on the basis of birth. For example, अगर एक आदमी गरीब खानदान में पैदा होता तो उसके लिए रूल्स अलग होते, और अमीर खानदान में होता तो उसके लिए रूल्स अलग होते. सो दिस वाज एंडेड. इसको खत्म किया किसने? नेपोलियन ने. दैट व्हाई ही वाज प्रेज्ड. इसी वजह से उनकी सराहना की गई. ओके. दिस कोड वाज आल्सो प्रोपगेटेड to other parts of Europe which were controlled by France. Soon people appreciated this, people loved it, and they said this should be promoted in other parts also. Okay, remember one thing, Napoleon, his idea was to capture the Europe. He wanted to become powerful. This was his idea. Okay. In towns, restrictions imposed on guilds were removed. Beta, when I say guild were the powerful people who did not allow other people to do business. So he allowed people to business and he restricted the power of the guilds. Fine. People of other European countries initially welcomed the French armies, but later began to oppose them because of increased taxation and censorship imposed on them. One side, if you see, Napoleon introduced lot of things which were appreciated. On the other side, people did not appreciate him, did not welcome him. Why? Because slowly and gradually what Napoleon started doing was he started forcing people to join the army because he wanted to become powerful. He raised tax. He raised tax because he wanted more money to increase his army, and this thing made Napoleon the enemy of other people. Beta, let us brush up of Napoleonic Code and Civil Code of 1804. That is, privileges based on birth abolished and equality before law was established by Napoleon. That's why he was appreciated. Right to property was established and feudal system was abolished. Right to property, that now everybody will be given property, and feudal system, the power will be shared equally with the people. Administrative division were simplified. To run the country, to run the place, those things were made easy. Okay. Peasants got freedom from serfdom and manorial dues. Serfdom and manorial dues, अगर आपने हिंदी में सुना होगा, बंधुआ मजदूरी. Forcefully you were made to work and you were not paid. ये सारी चीजें से मुक्ति दिलाई किसने? नेपोलियन ने. Common national currency was adopted. Earlier there was no common currency. अगर आप फ्रांस में जाते, every part, every area, there would be different currency. So now there was a uniform currency. आपके यहाँ पर पूरी यूनिफॉर्म करेंसी चलेगी, एक ही करेंसी चलेगी. Guild restrictions in towns were removed and transport and communication system were improved. Guild, the powerful businessman, where their powers were taken and communication was improved. Okay, that's why Napoleon was appreciated. The making of nationalism in Europe. Till mid 18th century, there was no concept of nation state in Europe. We have talked about this. That was, in Europe there were no nation, there were no country. Okay, so society and politics was dominated by aristocracy. The society was dominated by the aristocrats, the rich elite people, rich class people. To the west, the land was farmed by tenants and small owners, while eastern and central Europe by vast states which were cultivated by the serfs. Okay, emergence of working and middle class due to industrialization in 19th century, and this was the turning point, because in Europe so far we have seen only two classes. One was upper class, that was aristocracy, and one was the lower class, the peasantry, the peasants. But after the industrial revolution, the educated people, they became powerful, and when they became powerful, they turned against the aristocrats. They were not happy with the aristocrats because the aristocrats were enjoying certain rights which were not given to other people, and that's why they were not accepted by the middle class people. Educated liberal middle class popularized abolition of aristocratic privileges. That's why they wanted to abolish the privileges which was there with the aristocratic people. Now, this middle class, after the industrial revolution, their thought was liberal. When I say liberal, Azad Khayalat ke, they wanted that everybody should be treated equally, and the powers which were enjoyed by the aristocrats should be removed, and they had their own way of thinking. That is liberal nationalism. When I say liberal nationalism, it is in political sphere and in economic sphere. आज़ादी दो तरह की, political आज़ादी और आर्थिक आज़ादी. If you talk about political sphere, government by consent, that is, the government should be selected by the people and they should be happy for it. End of autocracy. Autocracy's power should be ended and they should be treated equally like all others. Abolition of property rights. The property rights were only given to the aristocrats. Now they wanted to remove it. Representative government through parliament. Now they wanted that all people who are there, they should select some people who should represent the government and they should run it, rather running by few individuals like aristocrats. On the other side, in economic sphere, freedom of market, or freedom for market, that is, you should be allowed to sell your things wherever you want, you should be given freedom. Removal of state imposed restrictions on movement of goods and capital. If we talk about that era, there was restrictions at every area. For example, उदाहरण के तौर पे, from Kota to Jhalawad, if I want to go and sell the goods, so I have to give the tax at Kota also, Jhalawad also. अगर और आगे जाके दूसरी जगह सेल करूंगा तो वहां पे भी टैक्स देना पड़ेगा, and so on, it will continue. So you have to pay the taxes wherever you go, at every area. So this was a demerit, this was a trade barrier. Fine. So they wanted to remove this. In 1834, a custom union called Zollverein was formed. So to remove this trade barrier, a trade union, that is custom union, was formed called Zollverein. Very important beta. Okay. So Zollverein was formed in 1834 to remove the trade barriers. The union abolished tariff barriers and reduced the number of currencies from over 30 to 2. If I talk, at that time the number of currencies in France was 30. मतलब एक ही देश के अंदर 30 तरह के मुद्राएं चल रही थी, पैसे चल रहे थे. Imagine India. India's currency is rupee. Imagine 30 currency in the same country. It would make things difficult. So they changed the 30 to 2. अब दो ही currency थी. Fine. New conservatism after 1815. Why after 1815? And what do you mean by conservatism? Beta, Napoleon, who destroyed democracy, whose intention was to capture the other parts of Europe, he did not become successful in this, because the other powerful countries, the other powerful monarchs, they came together and they understand that this person is trying to capture us and we need to stop him. So the countries came together. Which country? Britain, Russia, Prussia and Austria. They came together and they defeated Napoleon in a war that is called Battle of Waterloo. Which battle, beta? Battle of Waterloo. So in 1815 Napoleon was defeated in a war, in a battle. Which battle? Battle of Waterloo. And after defeating, these countries met together. They came together to sign a treaty. Treaty is agreement, and this treaty is called Treaty of Vienna in 1815. Main motive of this treaty was to undo the changes initiated by Napoleon and to restore monarchy. Beta, the main intention of this treaty was to undo the changes which the Napoleon has done. Napoleon ने जितने भी चेंजेस किए थे उसको वैसे ही रखना, और जो चेंज करने हैं उनको लगता है उनको चेंज करना. दिस वॉज द मोटिव ऑफ ट्रीटी ऑफ वीना, एंड देयर मेन एम वॉज टू रिस्टोर मोनार्की. मतलब कंजर्वेटिज्म वर दोज पीपल हु वांटेड टू रिस्टोर मोनार्की. ये पुराने चीजों में ज्यादा विश्वास करते थे. दिस पीपल डिड नॉट बिलीव इन चेंजेस. They wanted to restore monarchy. Okay, so provisions of Treaty of Vienna. What was there in this agreement? You see, restoration of Bourbon dynasty. Bourbon dynasty जो छीन ली थी नेपोलियन ने, उनको वापस से monarch बनाना. Territories acquired by Napoleon taken back. जो territories नेपोलियन ने हासिल की थी उस पर दोबारा कब्जा किया गया. Third, prevented French expansion in future. Okay, so French आगे फ्यूचर में एक्सपांड नहीं हो और आगे जाके दूसरों पे राज नहीं करे, इस वजह से उसको स्टॉप किया गया. ऑस्ट्रिया टू कंट्रोल नॉर्दर्न इटली. सो ऑस्ट्रिया वाज गिवन अ कंट्रोल ऑफ नॉर्दर्न इटली, एंड पर्शिया वाज गिवन अ न्यू टेरिटरीज ऑन इट्स वेस्टर्न बॉर्डर इंक्लूडिंग सेक्सोनी. सो पर्शिया वाज आल्सो गिवन सम टेरिटरीज टू रूल. No change in German Confederation of 39 states. So German Confederation में there was no changes. It was kept as it was. Russia to get Poland. So Russia was given a control of Poland through the Treaty of Vienna. So dear students, this was the end of part 1. But before ending, I would like to discuss some important questions with you from the textbook. So I request you to please open your textbook and mark these questions in your textbook, because they are very important from your board point of view. Fine? Beta, the first page of your chapter, the image is given of Frederick Sorio. That is very important, and just under it there is a complete information given of the image. So this is very important. I want you to mark the first paragraph, the complete paragraph, because the question can be asked in board exam. That is, what are the features of Frederick Sorio's painting? So there are various points in the whole paragraph. So the whole complete paragraph is very important for you. It is given in the paragraph. Dear students, on the right hand side, in the column, in the box, there is written new words. These all new words are very important, and you should mark all this, and you should read this and understand this also. Fine. So let's move on the next one. If you come on page 5, on page 5 the topic is the French Revolution and the idea of nation. The second paragraph, that is very important. Here the question is second paragraph. Okay. From the very beginning, the French revolutionaries introduced various measures. So this can be a very important question. What were the important measures taken by the French revolutionaries to bring all together? So this complete paragraph is important, because in this complete paragraph the answer is given. This is very important board question beta. Fine. On page 7 there is an image of Napoleon. This image is also important beta. Okay, if you see this image, the courier of Rhinhel loses all that he has on his way home from La Paz. This is Napoleon, and in this image it is shown that he is going home, but the envelopes, the letters which are falling from his bag are the territories which he is losing, जो वो हारते जा रहे हैं, जंग से हारते जा रहे हैं. So this is also very important. Fine. So these were the some important questions. I hope you will mark this, and if you don't understand anything from this chapter, don't worry, you can come up with your doubts in the doubt session. So for now, this is the end of part 1. We'll discuss more about this chapter in part 2. Thank you very much. God bless you. Take care of yourself. Thank you.